They say the greatest love stories begin with a stolen glance, but the most beautiful love story ever written began with a lowered gaze. In a world obsessed with forbidden romance, this is the story of a man who loved a woman so deeply that he refused to look at her. In a bustling ancient city, there lived a poor but righteous artisan named Zaman. One morning, while working in the crowded market, the crowd parted, and he saw her. Aisha. For a single, frozen second, their eyes met. Zaman's heart stopped. He was utterly captivated by a beauty he had never seen before. The pull of human desire screamed at him to keep looking, to follow her, to speak to her. But Zaman remembered the one who created love. Instantly, he forced his eyes down to the dusty earth. His heart pounded fiercely in his chest as he turned his back and walked away, choosing the pleasure of his creator over the desire of his own heart. But walking away didn't stop the love from blooming. Zaman's heart belonged to her now. He soon learned she was the daughter of the city's most respected and wealthy merchant. Zaman was just a poor worker with empty pockets. How could he ever ask for her hand? To make matters worse, a wealthy, arrogant nobleman had just arrived with chests of gold to propose to Aisha. Zaman's world shattered. The pain of losing the only woman he had ever loved threatened to break him. The world tells you to rebel, to chase, to break the rules for love. But what did Zaman do? He waited for the world to sleep. At 3 in the morning, in the freezing cold, while the wealthy nobleman slept in his silk sheets, Zaman stood on his torn prayer mat. In the total silence of Tahajjud, he fell into sujud. Tears poured from his eyes, staining the woven rug. Ya Allah, he whispered, his voice shaking with absolute heartbreak. I lowered my gaze for your sake. If she is good for my religion and my world, unite me with her in a halal way. If she is not, please, take this intense pain from my heart. He didn't text her. He didn't stalk her. He placed his broken heart entirely in the hands of the Almighty. Weeks passed. Unbeknownst to Zaman, Aisha's father had seen the arrogant nobleman screaming at a poor servant in the street. Disgusted by the man's dark character, the father broke off the wealthy engagement. He realized that gold could not buy a good heart. A few days later, Zaman was working when Aisha's father approached him. He hadn't come to buy anything. He had come because the whole city spoke of the young man who never cheated, never lied, and always kept his gaze lowered in respect. I have a daughter, the old man said with a warm smile. And I want a man of true character to protect her. Zaman fell to his knees in disbelief. The woman he thought he had lost forever, the woman he cried for in the darkest hours of the night, was suddenly given to him. On the day of their nikah, dressed in beautiful white garments, Zaman finally lifted his gaze. He looked into Aisha's eyes, this time without fear, without sin, and with the full blessing of the heavens. For what you leave for the sake of Allah, He will always replace with something better, or return it to you in a way you could never imagine.